Yeah, the adventure was great, but whoo, what a crappy story. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today I'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 good games with bad stories.
I could tell you of the great battle centuries ago.
For this list, we're ranking these games based on how incredible they are from a gameplay perspective, yet struggle to tell an interesting story. To qualify for this list, the game actually has to be making an attempt to tell a story, so you won't find any throwaway save the princess stories here. Number 10, Resident Evil.
Tyrant virus is a super virus, which creates a monster which is much stronger than human beings.
Let's be honest, as memorable as this game is, when has Resident Evil ever been known for having a good story? Remember, the best game in the series has a story dedicated to rescuing the president's daughter. As for the first one, we can all recount the number of good times we had shooting zombies in the face and running from demonic hounds that jumped through the windows, but come on, the story? Was it any real surprise that your commanding officer, who keeps on disappearing and has a bad habit of wearing sunglasses indoors at night, turned out to be the bad guy?
I think you should stay away from Barry, Jill. I hear that his wife and 2 daughters will be in danger if he doesn't do everything I tell him to.
Although, thinking back, the countless number of memes that spawned from the poor dialogue and voice acting were probably really worth it in the long run. Speaking of which, anyone up for Jill sandwiches after this?
You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right. Barry, thanks for saving my life.
Number 9, Diablo III.
New Tristram started when some traveling merchants decided to set down here to sell to the adventurers. It grew quickly.
Whoa, just wow. Has there ever been a game like this to have such weird dialogue? Well, you know, aside from Resident Evil, of course.
So, you're going to steal all the research?
Despite the complaints about constant online connectivity, this game still received high amounts of praise for its oh-so-addictive gameplay. Diablo 3 may have been another success in Blizzard's legacy, but some of these bits of dialogue are just, yeah.
How dare you speak to me like that? I am the mayor of this town.
Look, we appreciate the silliness and all, but let's not get too crazy, okay?
The other adventurers who came through here didn't look so deadly.
Number 8, Halo 5, Guardians.
You've changed.
It was time.
Looking back on the past games in the series, including Halo 4, Halo 5 could have had a way better story. The AI may have made the game more challenging, and the environments were as lush and beautiful as ever. But, and this is a big one, the story just sucked.
It's not too late to stop this.
Stop. No, John.
The main lead, Commander Locke, is such a dull character, lacking any sort of standout personality, and the much-hyped battle between him and the Chief ended up being nothing more than a non-interactive fistfight. But that's okay, they ended up being buddy-buds at the end and sharing about 10 minutes of time together. So, was Master Chief's mom named Martha by any chance?
Stop! Why did you say that name?
It's his mother's name.
Number 7, Destiny.
I'm a ghost. Actually, now I'm your ghost. And you, well, you've been dead a long time.
Launching to a slightly rocky start, we have to admit that this game has gotten better in some areas. More missions, more combat, no sign of bad Peter Dinklage acting, such bliss. Until you try to find the story, in which case, good luck.
There are many tales told throughout the city to frighten children.
We're not saying there isn't a story, but it's a bit of a pain in the ass when you have to go onto your computer away from your game just to figure out what exactly is going on in the universe. Take that away, and it's just a game where you shoot aliens. Holding back information can be good to add a sense of intrigue to the lore, but Destiny goes way too far to the point where it's holding back any motive or something to even care about. At least the game is still fun to play, but if you're interested in a story, you better start sifting through those Destiny Explained videos. Number 6, Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Very well. Have it your way.
For such an incredible open world to explore, hundreds of hours worth of quests to take on, the spiritual successor to the well-beloved Xenoblade Chronicles had all the makings of a surefire hit. Yet, it's hard to look past how incredibly generic the story is, and its biggest misstep is its villains, the Ganglion.
And now the Vita is ours.
Are we supposed to buy that these guys are powerful enough to destroy the Earth, but struggle to take down a single human city? Or that their big reason for wiping out mankind is that
humanity is a blight, a great cancer festering on the cosmos?
Hey writers, there's a billion stars in our galaxy alone. It's kind of hard to buy that we're the biggest threat to all of them from our insignificant speck on the map. Plus that whole humanity is a disease thing is really overdone.
Stupid worms. I'll kill every last one of them.
Number 5, Mortal Kombat X.
Raiden, what'd you find?
Shinnok's amulet has been stolen, replaced by an exquisite duplicate.
Woo! Fatalities galore. Let's break some bones and snap some spines. Indeed, Mortal Kombat has made an impressive comeback after the hiccups that were Armageddon and Deception. While Mortal Kombat X proved the hype once again, the story campaign was less than stellar.
This is what awaits those who defy me.
The voice acting was great and all, but we come to Mortal Kombat just wanting to hear about some intestines. What we got were a series of side stories that just didn't collide well with the tone of the franchise. Would you rather be decapitating your opponent or listening to the story about how Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade got married, had a kid, and then got divorced? Come on, this is Mortal Kombat, not a Lifetime movie.
Sonya?
Johnny.
Number 4, Pokemon X and Y. If eyes were daggers, they would be aimed towards this game, and specifically towards its villains, Team Flare. What separates this team from all the others? Team Rocket was abusive towards Pokemon and committed crimes. Team Aqua and Magma wanted to expand the water and land. Okay, that last plot was damn stupid. But Team Flare wants to get rich and annihilate mankind in order to make the Earth beautiful again, as they put it. So you're kind of like eco-terrorists under the rule of a hippie Scrooge McDuck? And how can you eliminate humanity if you want to make money? You know what, just you do you, Team Flare. So it's still the addictive and engaging catch and battle Pokemon formula that always worked so well, but come on, what is with that giant hobo? Did he actually do anything? Number 3, Bayonetta.
Out to find some answers about your past, are we?
Rarely does a video game manage to pull off campiness so damn well than the ever-attractive Bayonetta series. Between the gracefully over-the-top combat and provocative style, it's hard to forget this game, and thankfully, we were treated to a sequel a few years later.
Even perk the ears of the hotheads down home.
We wish we could give such praise to its scatterbrained plot, though. The game has so much of an information overload that it's very hard to keep track of what's going on, and it's even more hard to figure out what exactly Bayonetta, or for that matter, anyone is actually trying to achieve. The game is weird, but the game is also great, so go play it.
Let's dance, boys!
Number 2, The Elder Scrolls V, Skyrim.
Sure, Mara, Dibella, Kinnarev, Akatosh, Divines, please help me.
Bethesda, as much as we love you, and Skyrim, this whole "you are the chosen one" shtick is getting kind of old. We saw it in Fallout, we saw it in Doom, we saw it in pretty much every other game. The idea is wearing kind of thin. Don't get us wrong, yelling at our enemies into a ragdoll state is as entertaining as hell. Don't change that. What we're asking for is just a better story. We totally understand that the non-linear nature of these games require a story that can be picked up and left off at any time, and that the best parts of a Bethesda RPG are the stories that you make up for yourself while you're playing, but come on, we could use some more deep characters, some riveting plot twists, and a few unconventional narrative paths. In the end, we know we're going to defeat that all-powerful deity because we did it in the last 4 Elder Scrolls games. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable, or in this case, dishonorable mentions.
Overruled. I judge the defendant guilty as charged. I hereby order the defendant to clean this entire island.
He plans to fight against Bison, so he doesn't want them to get into Shadowloo's hands.
Unbearable thoughts welled up in me, making me want to get as far away as I could.
Number 1, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. It pains us to put The Phantom Pain at the top spot because while the game set a new gold standard for the stealth action genre, the story suffered, most likely due to the internal conflict between Konami and Hideo Kojima. There is just so much to this game's story that's confusing as hell. And what's worse is that it's supposed to be the final chapter in Big Boss's story, but instead of answering questions, it created a lot more.
This one, he'll take your place. From here on, he's Snake.
What's up with that Volume 2 tape from Ground Zeroes? What did Eli do with Sahelanthropus? Where's our closure for the rest of the Diamond Dogs? Why did Snake rub the ashes of those soldiers all over his face like it was acne cream? And come on, here's the really big one. Why in the world did Big Boss turn into the original Metal Gear villain? Wasn't explaining that the whole part of doing a prequel? So, do you agree with our list? Which games had you rolling your eyes at the god-awful story? For more top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
It took you long enough.